Hello and welcome to the Modern Frida podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a mini album review on Just Keke by Keke Palmer. And I'm going to be going over what I did like, didn't like, we should be looking out for. And honestly, this episode is for you if you've been skeptical of even listening to it. If you haven't listened to it, but you're a Keke Palmer fan, this is your episode because I was skeptical. Straight up, I was skeptical. I love Keke Palmer. I love everything she has done, to be honest. I've been a fan since she did the movie with Corbin Blue. I forget the song. It's the Jump Rope movie, that one. Even though I wasn't there for her True Jackson VP era, I kind of came back to her when she started doing her skits on TikTok. And I was like, oh, Keke Palmer. And then it's been really incredible to see her evolve, which, by the way, there will be a part 2 to this because this is focusing on the album. But I read her Master of Me book recently in preparation for this episode. And there was so much that I learned from her and that I feel we can learn as creatives. So stay on the lookout for that. But let's just get into this. What I loved about this album is that there's several things I loved about this album, by the way, but one of the things she did really well is that she used interludes with purpose. They made sense. I feel like a lot of times when artists do interludes in their albums, in their body work, they don't make sense all the time. I'm just kind of like, why is this an interlude? Why is this here? It didn't really add anything to the upcoming song. And in this album, she starts with Act 1. She's an actress. And throughout this whole album, she is giving us parts of her. It's kind of like she took I don't want to say the last 10 years. I want to say her whole career and sprinkled it into this album. And I'm here for it. I have not listened to her other music. And I didn't even know she had other music, to be honest, up until recently. But we start with Act 1, which to me is the intro. And she does really great at setting the scene with Act 1 and the song Off Script, which right away, she's giving us the tea. She's giving us what this album is about, which I love. She's setting the scene, the mood. And it's kind of taking this moment in time that she could have brushed off easily, which was the scandal with her then boyfriend, Darius, I believe is his name, when she went to the Usher concert and was wearing this see-through black dress, and he went on Twitter and was like, no mother should be out there wearing that dress, right? And she could have just put it under the rug. She could have just done the song with Usher, called it good, but she decided to make a whole album off of it. I don't want to say just because of that reason, but this album does touch a lot on that relationship and not just what happened there. But I love that she was so vulnerable and opening to us about what was happening behind the scenes, what happened that night. And furthermore, what I do love too as well is that incident happened, I believe, in 2023, 2 years ago. The album just came out 3 months ago in June. So something that, again, she could have just swept under the rug. She was okay with addressing it. She was like, no, I'm going to own it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want in the media, but this is actually what happened. Whereas a lot of other artists, they sometimes choose not to, or they are sometimes vague as to what happens in their personal lives. And that's fine. I think to all their own. And I think it also depends on a lot of factors, but I love that Keke is very okay with owning it and talking about it because that's just who she is as well. She's very upfront, is a vibe I've always gotten, and is not afraid to just be honest. And Off Script, one of the more memorable lines is, you still think that I don't love you even though I let you get me pregnant. And the way she shouts it, even when I let you get me pregnant, oh shit, then forgive me for my vocal job, but also there is a whole visual album paired to this. So even if you if you love visuals, go to YouTube and you can, and I think the whole thing is about like 30, it's less than 30 minutes. It's 27 minutes. You can go watch the whole visual, listen to the album, and it does give visuals. Like, it's so well executed. And I love that she also, I want to say it was produced by her production team. And what I mean by that is that she has her own digital media network, Key TV, which I'm still a little confused as to what it is, but I think it's just because it's newer. It's like, instead of being on television, like, you know how you have like BT and Nickelodeon and whatnot, it's online on YouTube. So it's Key TV, and she's able to not just produce her own work, but also be supportive of other independent artists and like just create things under her own wing. I hope that makes sense. All that to say is that she is investing in herself. Like, this was all her, which makes it even great. And we'll definitely talk about that in the next episode. But so the fact that she did all this under her own company shows how much she's grown, but also it is impressive. It is very impressive. This was no like half-ass production. So yeah, because she's setting it as if it was a sitcom, right? And then she wakes up and, you know, there's a lot of monologues, which I love. Okay, so I just went and refreshed my memory of the video off script. Holy heck, y'all. She, spicy, like hot. She's over here in the shower. Orange. The lighting. That's all I gotta say. The lighting on this is epic. She's just owning it. That's what I love. She's owning it. She's owning her everything, her sex appeal, her beauty, her fierceness, her who she is. And she's in like this suit and tie, like, cause she's that bitch. She's a boss. She's giving boss. Okay. So that is the more memorable thing of that song off script, which is like, and I let you live, even though, what did she say? Yeah, I let you get me pregnant. And when this song came out, I was seeing on Threads, people's comments on this, that it could have been a good album, but she's too Disney, or she's like, if this was a Disney album or something, which I then saw that Keke defended it. She's like, that's fine. Like, I'm okay with being compared to Disney because Disney is great. I don't see no shame on that. So if you want to say that, that's cool and all. But I don't understand that. I listened to this whole album and it does not give Disney to me. The lyrics don't give Disney to me. I don't know why people would shade her that way, because I personally don't see it, especially giving the context of the music. I just don't. So off script, that's off script. Next song is, well, what did Sharon say? Which is another interlude. Oh yeah. So, and I don't know if I like the title of this song, but I'm gonna read this to y'all because it's an interlude. Again, she's just giving us context as to, like, she's narrating her own story. So she's like, I bet you're wondering how I got here. She's like, yeah, I don't want to say it was love at first sight, but it was looking good. And you know what I'm saying? He was my boo. And it's crazy how it happens overnight like that. One day you're a stranger and the next day you're in love. So she went from being in the present to now going to the past. So we're traveling to the past, which I love. And that moves us to the next song, which is 125 Degrees. Okay, and this song, she's she's a grown-ass woman, which I love. Like, she's kind of, like I said, she's growing before us, but it kind of takes us back to kind of like when she met this guy. Because she's saying, when you're sneaky link, turn into your man, because Cupid has a different plan. So it's kind of like, they were just fooling around, and the next thing I know, they're falling in love. And her lyrics is more explicit than what I was thinking it was going to be. It was a really nice surprise, honestly. She's like, I got your t-shirt and no panties on. I ain't just acting grown. Let me get that skin to skin. I don't want to smell like your cologne. No panties on. I let a stranger in my heart. So, like, those are very graphic lyrics, very graphic visuals, if you're asking me. And again, for someone to say this is Disney is insane to me, but I love that in the visuals, like in that music video, it says this is a dramatic reenactment, or like, this isn't real. Like, don't think that just because because people sometimes might take things a little too realistic. Okay, So then after Off Script, we got Anonymous, which was I get ooh this was a lot of these songs. She's giving very sultry. She's very sultry in this album, and I'm here for it. Like, not only was she okay with sharing how, you know, there was a heartbreak and this embarrassment, of, so to speak, of this public scandal, but she's also okay with being like, well, I do love him. I do love my baby daddy, even when we were together. Now that we're not together, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, it's very real, like how she met, how they ended up being together in this song. I want to say it's about him as well, because I mean, who else would it be about, I guess. But she's kind of going about what she loves about this guy, you know, and it's like she's singing it to him, like, you know, very endearing. And I love that. And how, like, why it is that she chose him. You know, she opened up something inside her that had been closed, and there's something about him that just gets to her, you know. And then we get a Keke and a Bee, which is another interlude. And yeah, she's referencing it is a Aquila and the Bee. I've never seen that movie. Can you believe that? I've heard of it a lot, and I need to see it. But I love how she referenced to it, because even if you never watched the movie, you've seen clips about it. You know, it's about the spelling bee. This girl, she ultimate speller, I guess. I know there's probably more to it, but that's the gist of it. And I'm gonna leave this to y'all. Like, I don't want to spoil it to y'all, because she's so funny. Like, she's just not afraid to go there. There's just, her personality is definitely showing through this, and that's, like I said, she did interludes hella well, and this is a great example of it. Moving on to track 7, My Confessions, which you can guess, of course, was inspired by Usher's My Confession and his involvement in the scandal. And she is addressing, this is a song where she is addressing that moment. Summer 23, he was in Vegas, broke up with me. So basically they were in Vegas. He broke up with her. She was just trying to have a good time after that and trying to forget what happened. And she was out with the girls, not trying to do anything else, but just have a good time. And now he wants to come over here and say all this nonsense. And what I love about this song too is that although it's called Confessions, and it's a nod to Usher and like what happened, and she uses that, but it's not corny. It's not so like, it's not like she didn't use the beat from My Confessions. Even in the music video, she didn't do, it's just not so direct. And I love that. It's just, these are her confessions, and I love how she did the lyrics to it. Honestly, I love the melody. I love everything. I love how she just basically how she used the reference. I thought it was well done. It was very tasteful. It wasn't gimmicky. And this one actually had one of my favorite, more memorable visuals. It was one of my favorite visuals, but at the same time, it had one of my least favorite things. So it's her confessions, right? And this one's a little too literal for me. She did, and it's funny because the song to me isn't literal and the reference, but the music video was a little too much, in the sense that she used My Confessions as in she's in a cathedral, and kind of like a confessional. And to me, that I wasn't the biggest fan of that. But what I did really enjoy about that music video is that towards the end, she's doing like this dance choreo, which I thought was so lovely. I love the movement of her dress and how she's doing it. It's just it's a little poetic. Honestly, she can dance. That girl can dance, and you have to see it. But I was not I wouldn't expect a dance choreo to this song, but she put it there and it made sense, and I love it. And honestly, I saved the music video for me, because other than that, I don't think I would have been a fan. So moving on to track 8, Exposed. This one, she ain't holding back. She's like, who the fuck do you think got you? Who put those rocks in your watch? And you want to be over here, like you want to act a certain way, all whatever, high and mighty, I guess, but who's taking care of you? Ooh, and yeah, because he's saying like, you're trying to get revenge. You want to see me spit? Can we make it work again? Huh? I love the way she delivered the lyrics in this song. That was Exposed. Then we get to another interlude. Ooh, Act 2. The cool thing about this intro is that it's done to a Sex and the City beat. I don't think it's the exact song used in Sex and the City intro, but it gives those vibes. Again, she's inserting a sitcom in here, or her acting roots and pop culture television. I love it. I'm here for it. You have to listen to it. Great fucking interlude. Tasteful. And that Act 2 jumps us into T-Boo. Ooh, woke up in the morning, I looked at me, way too fine to be. Okay, this song is supposed to be giving tea. She's spilling the tea, but she does give tea, but I don't think the tea was that hot, to be honest. But it's a good song. It grew on me. The music, when I first saw a clip of this music video online, I wasn't the biggest fan until I saw the full complete music video. And she's giving breakfast at Tiffany's on some of the clips online, but if you look at the whole entire music video, it's more than that, and I love it. But she has this she's in like a Marie Antoinette wig and corset type of dress, and like let them eat cake, or having tea, I guess. Yeah, it's like they're having tea, and they also have like great dance choreography as well. They're and that's T-Boo, and like they put their pinkies up and pretend they're having tea, and I love it. It's great, honestly. Well done, the music video. And the beat was a little, I don't know if I was the biggest fan of it at first. Like, it's just at the end of the day, she is gonna do her unapologetically. I don't think she's trying to do a top 5 Billboard hit or something. She's just doing music because she wants to do music. She is owning it after having some bad experiences in the past. According to her book, she is now owning a space that she didn't think, that people kind of told her she didn't belong in. Also in fashion, that's why we've really seen an evolution in her fashion as well. And that's why what makes this album so great from her previous work is that she's owning a lot of what other people might have told her she couldn't do in the past. So yeah, it's a fun little track. And that's T-Boo. Now that's T. Oh, incoming, my favorite track from the album, which is Amnesia. I love this track because my favorite part of it is, well, first of all, she starts with the it's your girl, and from the Megan Thee Stallion interview, and again a Keke reference. So yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, she put a lot of her viral moments into this album, not just the baby daddy drama viral moment, but also like the other. I didn't know she was such a meme queen until doing research, but for one person, she has a lot of iconic memes out there, some that I didn't even know were a thing. The first time I heard this song, Sorry to That Man, Broke Boy Amnesia, sorry to That Man, that is actually also a meme reference. She's doing a lie detector test, if I'm correct, and they ask her, do you know who this man is? And it's a photo of Dick Cheney, who honestly I wouldn't also have known who the heck that man was, because I think it was like him also being older, and she's just like, I'm sorry to that man, but I don't know him. She's like, sorry to that man. And for some reason it became a meme and people just ran with it, but I love that she put that in here, and it's also, if you didn't know, now you know, but if you didn't know, I love how she inserted it in this song. And I also love the line, because baby, I'm a motherfucking keeper. He can keep her back, so she might not. See, you can't always trust the lyrics on Genius, because it says he can keep her back, so she might not see her. But I don't think it says Keke keep a bag, so he might not see her, unless she changes it at the. Let me see. No, it's Keke keep a bag, so he might not see her. And Keke keep a bag has a little bit of a tongue twister. It's a name she's been given because Keke keep a job is actually the reference, but Keke keep a bag because she always has a job, which is funny because I watched a interview, one of her podcast interviews recently with Law Roach, and even he's like, Keke keep a bag, like she, you always doing something. And again, She put that in there. I love it. And also, you wouldn't know this unless you read her book, but I don't think this was done intentionally, but I love that we can make the connection if you wanted to. Someone asked her what her favorite cuss word is, and she said motherfucker. I don't think it was a book. Actually, it could have been I might have seen a clip online. I don't remember where. But anyways, she said her favorite cuss word is motherfucker. And what do you know? That she honestly is very catchy in the song. Cause baby, I'm a motherfucking keeper. Keep her back so you might not see her. Just because I want you doesn't mean that I need you. Sorry to that man, broke boy, amnesia. Also, sorry. Okay, the broke boy, amnesia. When was the last time you heard that word, amnesia, in a song? I don't know. I love it though. Like, and it's like, boy, did you hit your head on the wall too hard that you forgot who you were? That you forgot who the fuck I was? I love it. So that's my favorite song in the whole album. Let me see what the visual was for this. I did forget. Broke boy amnesia. Is there even a... You know it's your girl. Hi, my name is me. Don't treat me like I'm regular. Ooh, and that's actually another part that I love. Is that, hi, don't treat me like I'm regular. It's like, when you talk to me, watch how you speak. And that's another thing. It's like, she ain't gonna let you forget who she is. In her book, she mentioned how some people wanted to compare her to another actress, which I think it was Zendaya. And they were trying to say, like, if she was a lighter skin of color, she would have had more opportunities, or she would have been a bigger star or something. And she had to check them. It's like, no, like, her being a woman of color, she's had a lot of great successes and opportunities. She was like the first Black woman to play Cinderella on Broadway. She's had a lot of firsts. I think she was the first one to win as an Emmy award or some type of award. I already forgot. Forgive me for not knowing it at the moment. But she has had a lot of firsts, a lot of great success accolades in her career. And for someone to come in here and try to make her feel like she hasn't accomplished as much because of her skin color, she's gonna check you. She's like, put some respect on my name, please. And she clearly says, like, on her book, actually, put some respect on my name, because no, I ain't having that. Next, we have Same Shit, Different Toilet, which I don't remember that being the name of the track. I don't remember the song being like that. And in this track, she's just kind of talking to her homegirl, and it's like, do you think he's dating someone else? Like, do you think he's talking to other women? And they're like, nah, they're not. And then it's very comical, though. I love it. It's very short and sweet, which jumps us into the next, the song I Want to Know. And it's basically her either finding out that he was already messing around with other women, and she found out, and then she's like, you know, she's having all those thoughts of like, well, what was it like? Was she better than me? Did you make her moan? Like, did you give her the best time? Did she give you the best time? And she paints a very straightforward picture with this song. She's like, even though it hurts me so, even though it makes me crazy and make me want to fight that hoe, she was getting loving for my baby. I bet she says she want him more, because I know I'd be wanting more. So even though, like, she's saying, like, even though, like, they're clearly having conflict and he's over there messing with other women, and like she kind of doesn't care. That's what the intro actually established. Is like, it's like, we ain't together, but like, I doubt it, he's seeing other women, like, kind of confident in being that, but then turns out not really. He is missing out with other women, and then she's kind of like wondering about that and trying not to go crazy thinking about that. Honestly, I wouldn't want to know about it, but she clearly does. She wants to know the details. Okay, the last song on Act 2 is Ripples, which I love. It's a little short song, but I love it because I do think it's difficult sometimes for artists to execute well songs about things that aren't related to, let's say, love or money or whatever you hear regularly on the charts or on the radio. But she's taught ripples. Like, ripples, what a great fucking analogy for the impact you have made in your family with your success. Not just you, but the generations before you. Or that's kind of how I take it, because she's like, I came from my mama and my mama's mama. Call it ripples over water, watch it drip all over me. And now that I think about it, her in the music video, she's dressed in blue, like a turquoise blue, ripples, blue water. I love that. I don't know if that was a connection, but now that I'm thinking about it, it could be. And so she's like, I know that my baby and my baby's baby gonna be good because the apple don't fall from the tree, don't fall far from the tree. So meaning, like, even though like things aren't working out with her baby daddy, she's gonna be fine. Her baby's gonna be fine. Her baby's gonna be fine because he's got her blood in him, and he comes from a great family. She's great, so he's gonna be great. And his baby, like, she's already setting them up for success, her family up for success. And that's another thing, she does feature her family in this music video, which I loved. Verse 2, she says, look at all this generational wealth in the building. Shout out to my girls that raise hell, raising millions. Never could have done it myself, made a living, pursuing what I am, all thanks to them. Something Keke will always do is give thanks to her family, because she knows that without them, she would be nobody. Like, they sacrifice so much to give her the opportunities to act, to pursue her career. So that's a really fun song. So I think all the, like, now that I think of it, all of Act 2 is a little bit more dancey. It does have a lot of, kind of dance vibes to it. And then Act 3 is just her getting a phone call from her boo saying, hey, Keke, it's me. So we go from Act 1, where she's setting the story. She's giving us present, past, and future, or just present and the past, like, what happened, but how did they not, then kind of like doing a flashback to when they met and how they fell in love and ended up with a baby, which I love. And then on the second one, it's kind of like when it gets really messy. The second act is where things got really messy and they were in the thick of it, and it's just kind of like them going back and forth and being ugly towards each other. And then by Act 3, the waters have already they're calming. The waters are calming. They are kind of at the end of on the other side, and have weathered the storm, and are in a better place. So we have Unless It's You, which is one of her best tracks vocally. So without a doubt, Keke has a voice, and I am excited to see how she develops it in the future. I feel like she's only at the beginning with her music, and I think that what I love about Keke is she's gonna give us what she wants, and I love that because it'll be authentic to her, even if it's not what's in right now or whatever. It doesn't matter. She's gonna do her the best way that she can be, because she's the master of me, which is one of the biggest lessons on her book, is that even though she can do many things, at the end of the day, she's just learning how to do what she does best, who she is best, and she's gonna own it, and she's gonna go as far as she can with it. I do think though, if she were to pair up with the right producer, she has a spot in music. She definitely does, because she's very versatile, and I feel like this is just the beginning. She can give a lot of girls a run for their money, honestly, a lot of artists, because she can act, she can story tell, she can, honestly, the beats, the production was not bad on this album. It was really well done, I must say. All of it, from choosing, because it could be so tricky. All of this could have been very gimmicky. All the intros could have been very gimmicky. The way that she kind of told it, like if you're watching a sitcom, like if you do watch the visuals, the music videos, it's very sitcomish, which I love. But visually it works, but it might have not have worked musically, like when you listen to the songs. But their producers did really well at choosing the correct sounds from it. And this one is it's a very beautiful ballad. It's very devoting. It's like a devotion of love to this person, that even though they've gone through this, like at the end of the day, it's him. Like that's her person. And even if they're not even together at this moment in time, like she's always going to have love for him. That's her baby daddy. That's the father of her son. And that's such a vulnerable song, I believe, to sing at the end of this. Like she went through this very public scandal, and he embarrassed her. She probably did bad to him, and all of that. In the end, she's still okay with singing a love song to him, and it's a beautiful. But I love this song. I think it's one of my other favorites, because her vocals are just incredible. And I feel like at times, like she can do anything. Because there's another song, I'm not sure which one it was, but it kind of gave SZA for a moment because she is also an impersonator. She can do impersonations. So I think but she's definitely owning. She loves, like I said, like the 90s vibes and stuff, Y2K, early 2000s. So maybe that will always be her, and that's fine because I think there's people out there who still like that music, and she just gotta really sharpen that craft of hers. That sound for her. And then we get to like the last song on the album, which is Misunderstood. Not one of my favorite ones, but I do love that she closes the album. Well, we have one last out, we have the outro, but complete song wise, I love that she does close out the album and closes the story, because then it wouldn't be a complete album in my opinion, and it would have felt short. But she gives us a conclusion. At the end of the day, she waved her white flag, called it truce, because in the end, they were just hurting each other. And, they're both losing. And then finally, we have our last interlude, which is not actually, it's an outro, which is the end, closing out the show, right? And she closes it like if she was hosting the whole show. You have to go watch the visuals, listen to the album in order to understand. But I think it was great overall. Great lyrics, storytelling, production was great. The thing I did at first, I was gonna come on here and say, is that I didn't like the album title, which is Just Keke, because she's not just Keke. She is the Keke. She is Keke Palmer, which I think even then I maybe would have preferred also to have the title, this album named Keke Palmer. Not even, maybe like, I don't know. I almost wanted to say like something with tea, because tea is referenced a lot and she is spilling the tea. She's spilling her own tea. She even says in one of the songs. So I feel like that she could have maybe done something with that. But right before I came on here, I saw a clip, because I saw that there was references to Moesha, the show. I've never watched the show, so apparently there's references on this album, or the visuals, and I think the audio to that show. But anyways, Brandy came on as a guest on Keke Palmer's show, which I didn't know she had a show. She was the youngest. She is the youngest talk show host at the time, I believe. She had her own at 20, I think she was like 2021, and it was called Just Keke, which I fucking loved. Then I was like, okay, I kind of love that, because again, something I loved throughout this album is how she took a lot of her viral moments, her movie projects that she's done, everything that's kind of happened in her life. She took bits and pieces and she put it into this, she sprinkled it onto this album really well. And Just Keke kind of was the icing on the cake for me. I'm like, okay, fine. It's fine. It's a fine name. But I do think it could have been a different. I don't know. What are your thoughts? It's just a no for me. But I'm like, okay, I'll accept it. And lastly, her on the cover, she's kind of like propped up like a doll, like if she was in a box set, because she says that let me Googled it. She said, I'm reading some quote online saying that it says Keke Palmer unveils cover art for her new album, Just Keke, and the inspiration behind her album packaging. This is the reframe of all reframes, not over the perceptions others have had of me, but all the ones I've had for myself for survival. So I love that. So she's not reframing the stories that other people have made of her, but the ones she's made of herself in order to survive her career. Okay, I actually found this post that gives more context into the album cover, because I didn't know exactly. But basically, she unveiled the upcoming art for her album, and it's a triple threat doll modeled after herself. The artwork celebrates her talents with the tagline, "She sings, she dances, she acts." But as Palmer explains, this album is more than just a display of her abilities. It is a reflection of her personal evolution. She's reflecting on her journey, since character is a tool to dismantle perceptions around identity. And even still, each box encrypting a new set of roles and limitations. She describes the project as a turning point. There comes a moment when performance stops being a mask and starts being a mirror. When your persona doesn't protect you, it reveals you. Ooh, that's a fucking quote right there. When your persona doesn't protect you, it reveals you. something to keep in mind for us artists as we sometimes create personas to help us cope with just being out there, honestly, and doing what we have to do in order to be successful. A great way to end this album review. I hope you give it a listen. I hope you give it a chance because it is definitely worth the listen. And I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Let me know if you enjoy it. Please share it on your story, share it with a friend. Leave me a comment on Spotify. Send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to hear from y'all. Please stay tuned for the next episode, which we're going to be diving into what we can learn from her. And also, if you enjoy album reviews, I did one on Cowboy Carter and Camila Cabello. Definitely check those out. And I will see y'all all in the next episode. Bye.